So in this video, I am going to just break down what I did with Kobe and just talk about some of the things that I learned from him real quick and teach you guys some little moves that he does that I've never known about. So basically, this is an unscripted just conversation with you guys about what I'm learning with him and what I'm doing with my channel. First of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for clicking. If you haven't, that's so cool. It is what it is. As I was mentioning in the intro, basically, I did quick one video on Kobe, and I kind of just broke down his rip through. So I am going to do fundamentals. Like, I'm going to start from the foundation and build my way up. I'm going to start with Kobe and his rip through because he is kind of just interesting in how he there's a reason he does the things he does, and he's methodical on how he does it, which is so dope. And there's a reason why they call him the Black Mamba. I did. If you're curious about what I'm talking about, I have another video, and I'll leave a link in my description down below that you guys can go and watch. If you're interested in learning about his little rip through, so yeah, it's fun. I mean, I didn't really do a deep dive into it, probably just a quick little breakdown, but I do learn some things about his habits when he does play, and it's pretty cool to see. So I'm just gonna touch on a couple of videos that I did breakdowns on when I did my last video. Sorry, I got my screen to my left. So these are just some things like he's dabbled on how he would create space he would read the defender with his rip through, and then kind of tear through and just get enough space to pull up and get the shot. And it didn't matter who was guarding him, how tall they were. He used his footwork to kind of measure and space out who was where and how to do it. And he probably knew their defensive schemes, like, then he probably knew that they were going to force him left or force him right or whatever, force him to the middle baseline, etc. And he would have studied it, and it didn't matter who was guarding him. The moment he understood the assignment, he knew what to do, and it would have been good. It would have been crazy to watch him study this shit like behind closed doors and kind of break down everything, because like you take for granted how good he was. Oh shit, you take for granted how good he was. Shout out to Jeremy Shadow for making this little video. He does like a tutorial at the start as well. I appreciate it. I'll leave a link in the description down below for you guys to watch. Okay, so excuse my mess, books. Put that down like that. So what I'm aiming to do on this page, right, is teach you kind of the whys and not the hows, because there's so many people out there teaching you how to do certain shit, but not really explaining why you should do it. So for example, like if you do a rip through, you're doing a rip through to kind of sense what happens when you go a certain way. So if I'm a left-hand player and I rip through right, I want to see if they want me to go right. So when I go right, but I'm left-handed, if they allow me to go that, if my defender kind of slides and sends me that one way, I'm doing their job for them, right? Because basically they want me to go to my weak side and they want me to miss the weak side. And like that comes with your preparation to the game. If you get better at your weak hand, then it doesn't matter which way they send you, it's fine. And you can practice that if you really want to practice it. If you don't, then you can stay a minuscule player. I was kind of lucky at a young age to realize that, hey man, if I don't know how to go either hand, I'm going to be just the basic player, shit player. Now, I'm not that great, but in saying that, I'm so glad that I had that philosophy mindset at such a young age. Just understanding in retrospect, like, there's certain things that are going to hold you back. Now, sometimes it doesn't matter if you force them to their weak hand, they'll keep going back to their strong hand. But and that'll work until you get to a certain age, and then eventually, like, professionals will abuse the fact that you can only go one way. And that probably starts, honestly, like, as I've been playing, once you start getting to players who are about 16-year-olds don't really think about it, but 17, 18, they start to use their brain, because physically it doesn't matter anymore. Like, once you hit like 18, all those people who have had their early growth spurts have caught up. All the people who haven't had a growth spurt early, they've kind of caught up. At 18, 19, 20, those are those freaks. 21 and anything older, you're kind of, if you're still growing at that age, something's wrong with you. you're kind of really lucky in that sense. And I don't know many people who have grown after that age, but the ones that have are kind of freaks. And I mean that in a good way. Like, they've grown and hit a certain height after the ages of 21, which is wild. But back to my main point. So when you're doing those rip throughs, you're kind of reading how the defenders kind of send you, or how they want you to go. And a good defender won't react off of you. A good defender will kind of force you to a way that they want you. So if you're, like I said, if you're left-handed and they want you to go right because right hand's your weak hand, then they kind of know that. They did the scouting report. No, they might not do it. No, actually in America they're pretty in depth like that. They do scouting reports and all that shit. They will force you to the right hand because they know it's your weakest side, and it's up to you if you practice in the off season or by yourself if you're gonna practice going right if left feels natural. And if you can't do either way, if you can't go to your strong hand and you have force to your weak hand and you can't do that hand, you're gonna hold yourself back from any potential that you might possibly have. And that goes with fucking left hand layups, left hand floaters, hook shots. If you do those hook shots, not many people do it. And then you can always divert back to your strong hand once you get that open space. Once they have to guard you flat-footed and in front of you, it changes everything. And so Kobe kind of understood that when he knew what their defensive schemes were, if they wanted to force him left, force him right, then he understood that he can abuse that fact, because the defender knows what he wants, what he's trying to force him to do, but he still has to react to Kobe, right? And so Kobe makes it look lulls him to sleep as if he's going to go to the way that they want him to go, and then he fakes that shit and goes the other way. I'm going to go on to other players. I want to see their methods and how they do their offensive, how they do their rip throughs. I want to go right through rip throughs. I want to go rip throughs just off of the catch and shoot, and then rip throughs off of the one dribble, rip through off the one dribble counter, rip through off the two dribbles, and then I'm going to go through just the pull up, or I can start with the pull ups. I'm already on the rip through, so I'm just going to keep going through rip throughs, and I'm going to just slowly explain why you do certain things in certain situations. So for now, Kobe, all he's doing is kind of reading the defense, which is what you will do, should do, and then kind of making the defender react to him and getting him to try and guard what Kobe wants to do instead of the other way around, where Kobe has to react to what you're getting locked up if you are fighting to create your space. And what I mean by that is, if you want to go one way and the defender doesn't let you go that way, you're getting locked up. And it doesn't matter if you, like, let's say you want to go to a left hand one dribble pull up, right? Left hand one dribble pull up. If you keep going, if you try and go left and he locks you off and you'll keep getting forced to go right, and then you go right and then you kind of cross behind the back and go back left, and then he's still there, you're getting locked up. If you do a jab step left, front foot, and then left foot over to go for a fake drive right, and then you dribble with your right hand and spin and try and go left, and he's there, you're getting locked up, right? And so what you have to try and do is make sure that man can't stay in front of you. And Kobe learns how to do that just with his footwork. And I'm sure everyone else does too. Some people abuse the fact that they're faster, so they'll just, the moment they catch that ball, who's a good example? Darren Fox. I have a friend, Jacob, that is like that, where once he knows that he can beat you off that dribble, but it doesn't matter what you do. You either have to just guess his move and try and beat him before he gets there, or you're beat. And it's embarrassing. And then sometimes you try and read that too quick and he just fucks you up. Anyway, I'm going to leave that at that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little breakdown. I get a bit in depth at the end there. But please, if you don't like this long format, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to try and categorize it into 3 different videos for my short form. And I'll put it up on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram. Please go follow all of those so that I can get into an algorithm and then try and pump up and turn this into something more than just, I will teach eventually, and I want to create a foundation for kids that don't know the sport, and I want to teach them. And because as a first generation hooper, I want to give this gift, this basketball gift to the youth, especially from where I grew up, and that's my goal. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you appreciate liked it. If you don't, whatever, I'm still gonna do it. Thank you. Cheers.